Rise of a National High Jump Champion, narrated by me, told through the scrapbooks of my wife Melissa. Dakota has taken us on a fantastic journey, and my wife has taken her time and made scrapbooks over his last 2 seasons of his high jump career. But the story is going to start in 2019 whenever Dakota came in as a freshman. But Dakota was a basketball player. Not only was Dakota a basketball player, but he was a fantastic basketball player. Loved watching this kid play. I actually took him to Chambersburg and got him signed up for a league that he played in, where he took his team undefeated, where he scored over 180 points, where the next closest kid wasn't even at 100 points on the season. He just dominated and then went on to start his high school career on the basketball team where he started. He was the starting point guard for the JV Greyhounds, where he led them in scoring his first year. And then after that, he joined the track and field team, where me and his mother thought he was going to be a runner. Thought he was going to be a runner. But as the practices went on and everything, another track and field mother approached my wife and says, "You know, your son's a pretty good jumper." And we're like, "What? Jumper? We thought he was a runner." And here he had been trying high jump. And his freshman year, high jumping, he did pretty good. I mean, as a freshman, his PR was a 6'2", which qualified him for districts, where I think this might not be accurate because I don't have a scrapbook, but I think he finished like 12th out of 18, which, 12th place out of 18, that's not very good, but for him as a freshman to make districts, we're pretty excited, and he's pretty fired up, and we could see this is what he wanted to do, and he decided that he was going to concentrate on high jump, and to my dismay, to his mom's dismay, decided that he was going to give up basketball. And man, I mean, that was heartbreaking, but if he wanted to concentrate on the high jump, we were 100% behind him. And of course, everyone knows 2020, his sophomore year, he lost due to COVID. So that means no track and field in 2020 for anyone. So that was pretty disheartening. But as soon as things cleared up to start the 2021 season, as soon as everything kind of cleared up, Dakota got to work. Dakota went to start putting in practice and started, doing things. And before you know it, in practice, he was beating his PR. So his junior year starts 2021. Now we're going to get to the scrapbooks. And we're going to start the season. Coming in, Dakota wasn't on anyone's radar. His freshman year, he jumped to 6'2". I mean, it's not bad, but it's nothing special. So coming into junior year, no expectations, but we start the first invitational, which is Tim Cook, where Dakota gets off to one heck of a start. He breaks the school record, takes first place at Tim Cook's Invitational to start his junior year with a 6'6". And then the caption is, Dakota Arana breaks school record in high jump with a 6'6". Any chance Dakota was bitten by a radioactive spider? So that's the start of the junior season, which is good. But then we get into the regular season where he goes against James Buchanan and takes second place with a 6'4", where he loses to his rival Grant, who is actually ranked number 2 in the state at the time. So he lost to the number 2 ranked jumper in the state, took a second place, but that's just the start of the season. He goes to his next invitational where he does not do so great. The Jack Roddick Invitational, he takes 4th. He's still jumping solid with a 6'4". Still jumping solid with a 6'4", but fourth place. The season's kind of, he's doing okay. He's hanging in. Not a big deal. Then he gets back to form. Takes a first place in Greencastle with his 6'6", ties his PR. So hey, back on track. Just regular season. You know, I mean, we're still pretty excited. 6'6" is really good. We got the school record. We're pretty happy. And then he goes to Cedar Cliff Relays, where he jumps a 6'8" and breaks his record again. Caption: Arana breaks school record today in high jump, 6'8", getting close to being able to audition for the next part of Peter Parker in the next Spider-Man movie. I'm telling you what, them Ship Athletics, they came up with some good stuff. But 6'8", we're pretty stoked because at this point, 6'8", the number one guy in the state in our area is only jumping to 6'10", so Dakota's starting to close the gap, and it's like, wow, this is kind of crazy. Not only that, but he gets Athlete of the Week due to his 6'8". Then it's on to Bowling Springs, where he takes another first place with a 6'6", keeping the momentum going. Into the Stan Morgan Invitational, where he takes another invitational first place with a 6'6", which COVID is kind of still real because, there he is with his face mask on. But we're still feeling pretty good. And then we got a next invite where he takes another first place at a 6'6". So he's consistently, at this point, jumping 6'6" consistently. We're feeling really good. He's jumping 6'6", and people are starting to talk about him now. He's starting to be a blip on people's radar in his junior year. So now, after the Route 16, I'm pretty sure we start getting into the championships, because this Route 16 Invitational is like last chance to qualify for like districts and mid-penn and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure that was the last invitational until he gets to the first leg of the Triple Crown, where he falls just short. He hits his PR 6'8", but takes home second place in mid-penn championships. Which, it sounds like second place. He didn't win, but wow, junior, he got second place in mid. We're ecstatic at this point. He's hit that 6'8". We're pretty happy. We're feeling pretty good rolling into districts, where districts changed everything. Dakota went from being a blip on the radar to being the man on the Greyhound campus, because what he did in district was pretty phenomenal. So he comes into districts, and he wins his first district championship with a 6'6" jump, the champion, where it says Arana just became the 7th male district champion at Shippensburg High, dating back to 1933. So he took out his rival Grant and knocked him off to claim the second leg of the Triple Crown, which kind of assured that nobody was getting the Triple Crown this year. So my boy won districts, but not only did he win districts, he anchored his Greyhound team, which his whole team won districts. District 3, Dakota Arana high jump gold. Shippensburg pulls out 3A boys team title. The Hounds won with only one individual champ, junior Dakota Arana in high jump. But that squad, man, I've watched that squad since they were real young. What a squad of young men and great athletes. And for my son to anchor down and get the 10 points to put him over the top, and get that district championship, dude. At this point, we're on cloud nine, and wow, my son is a district champion. It's crazy. I mean, out of nowhere, he wins districts. So we're on cloud nine. Everything. It's so fantastic. You know, you get that District 3 first place medal. And that's pretty special. That was pretty special walking around with that feeling, the proudness, the just the honor of just that's my kid. Wow. It was fantastic. And not only did he get one for himself, but they got a team title. So everyone was so hyped. It was just a fantastic feeling. But now we're on to states where we got a district champion. We're contending for a state title. And unfortunately, going into states, it was rainy. It was rainy, so we could not jump outside. So for the first time in his life, he had to jump inside. So we took it inside, where my boy won states with a 6'4" jump. He did. He won. He's a state champ. He is on top of the podium. Sorry for the glare, guys. But state champ. Now, the story, this is crazy. We're inside. Now, we get to 6'4", all right? My boy was the only one to clear 6'4" on the first attempt. He cleared it first attempt, done. The other boys that cleared 6'4", which there were two other boys that ended up clearing 6'4", it took them to their last attempt to clear 6'4". So they go into 6'6". None of the boys clear 6'6", and I'm like, oh my goodness. I look at my wife, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go over and talk to the coach. So at this point, nobody cleared 6'6", so I'm thinking they're going into a jump off, because that's how they did it in the regular season. States are different. I've never been to states. I didn't know how they did it. I thought it was going to be a jump off. So I run over to the coach. I go, hey, coach. I was like, if we pump him up, I know he can do this. All we got to do is pump him up. He can get this. And the coach looked at me and goes, I think Dakota won the state championship. And I looked at him. I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, no. He goes, at this point, it goes by less misses. And I said, I think your boy just won state championship. And I'm like, oh. I was like, oh. So I run over to my wife. I said, I think he won. I don't know what's going on, but he might have won. And then before I know it, they announced it that he had won the championship because he had 2 fewer misses throughout his run and became a state champion. 2 out of 3 of the legs of the Triple Crown as a junior. We got our state championship. Fantastic. So, crazy year. Quit basketball, concentrated on high jump, won districts, led his team to a district championship, won a state championship, and we're just getting started. Okay, that run, and we're just getting started. That run, and we're just getting started. There's his 2 shirts with his numbers and his district and his states. His proud family, of course. His boys. What a run. And he's just a junior. And then, of course, his mama made him this. Said, very proud of you. Let's go get them in 2022. Love, Mom. And I'm telling you what. 2021 was a district and state championship run. And we're on top of the world. Dakota is on the map. He's going into the season as the man to beat. You're defending a district and state championship. So we're rolling into 2022. Shippensburg's track and field boasts returning state champion, state medalist in 2022. So here we go, all-star. Of course, in 2021, he was at an all-state. He made the first all-state team in 2021 also, which was a fantastic honor, but we're just getting started. Now, the first event of 2022, he touched my heart with this one, and he set up something fantastic in here. As you know, I always say, go out there and do something good for someone, and the good will come back to you. And my boy, he listens. And the first invitational is Tim Cook, and that's gonna start us off. And what he did at Tim Cook was just fantastic. My boy took second place with a 6'4". Okay, now you're saying, well, that's not fantastic. He took second place. But the story behind this, okay, he cleared 6'4". He has a pretty decent partner his senior year, Connor Landreth. And Connor jumped a 6'4", and then they went up to 6'5", and Connor cleared 6'5". And whenever Connor cleared that 6'5", and Connor hit his PR, Dakota said, nope, you got it. And he let his teammate win this invitational. And whenever he got home and he talked to me about it and everything like that, I was like, why'd you do that? And he looked at me, he goes, go out there and do something good for someone, and the good will come back to you. And tell you what, I had goosebumps whenever he said that to me, because he did. He said he gave Connor so much confidence that Dakota and Connor were such an awesome duo throughout the whole season, and you will see as we go on. Of course, he let his teammate win that one, but that was it. That was done. That was the sealed deal. After that, we go against James Buchanan, where he jumps to 6'4" and takes the first place. You know, it's just a regular season match, just getting warmed up. Now we're starting to get into where he goes to Big Springs. Not only does he go to Big Springs, he breaks his record at 6'9", and he breaks the stadium record. This is the start of a record-breaking, record-setting year that everybody was talking about. Jumps 6'9", breaks his record, and we are off to the races, because the next one, we have an invitational where he goes and he jumps his 6'9" again, where he wins the invitational, wins the MVP, and they even sent him home with an MVP plaque for male field MVP. It's a nice plaque too, y'all. So this was the start, man. He just did not let up after this. It was on like Donkey Kong, taking that invitational. Then we go to Waynesboro, where he breaks his record again at 6'10", ties the stadium record. Crazy. At this point, he is on fire with this 6'10" jump. It put him ranked number 13th in the country at that point. He's ranked number 13 in the country. Number 1 in Pennsylvania, 13th in the country. So we're feeling pretty good about this title defense. He's jumping good. So we're going to the next one, where he goes to Greencastle and he breaks the stadium record with a 6'9". So at this point, my boy is putting his name on all different school stadiums. He has like 5 or 6 different school stadiums with his name on them. And we're still rolling at this point. So we're coming to the Jack Roddick Invitational, where he claims it again. He breaks his record again with a 6'11", first place, of course. And Arana, the Hounds defending state high jump champion, extends his own school record with a winning leap of 6'11". Teammate Connor Landreth added a third place. So Connor's still hanging in there doing pretty good. Dakota's breaking records. So we're at Shippensburg where it's raining, and he'll take a first place with a 6'2". But it was raining, it was terrible. You can see in the background, it's all wet. He just once he got that win, he was done. He didn't jump anymore. So that was just a school win anyway. But then the next one, and this is where we're coming in again with a first place 7-foot jump. And there it is, a picture of him jumping over a 7-foot bar. Congratulations, Dakota, who set a new school record in the high jump with a 7-foot jump. Oh my goodness. At that point, he's jumping over a lot of NBA stars. Yes, at this point, this 7-foot jump puts him in ranked fourth in the nation. Number 1 in Pennsylvania. And we're thinking, holy cow. Holy cow. It's just amazing. 7 foot, high school. Wow. That's big. Nobody else is doing it. Not in our state anyway. It was nutty. That was fantastic. But then we head into the Cedar Cliff Relays, where this is where the good comes back to you. Dakota set himself up. He knew that the Cedar Cliff Relays were this year, and he knew that last year in the Cedar Cliff Relays, him and Connor missed the record by like 4 inches. And he's like, I want that record. And he set it up from the Tim Cook by giving his partner the confidence to where they went into Cedar Cliff. They took first place. Not only did they take first place, but Arana and Landreth have broken the combined high jump record for the Cedar Cliff Relays at 12:11. It was the longest standing record at the meet, held since 1982. That's 40 years. And Dakota set that up, giving his partner enough confidence so he got a good enough jump to where they could break that record that stood for 40 years. So this has been a record-breaking season. Last year was fantastic. We got a state and district championship, but he's winning everything this year. It's crazy. The only thing that he didn't win was the first one where he set his partner up for success, which is fantastic. So there, another record, a 40-year-old record that him and his partner were able to take out. Then he goes to West Perry, where he breaks their stadium record at 6'9", takes the first place. Then it's on to Stan Morgan Invitational, where they had to jump inside, but it did not matter because he jumped 6'5" and took first place. It is so much like in here. Look, you can just, in my opinion, it's 10 times harder to jump off of wood compared to the outside. There's more spring in the track, a little more bounce, and you've got spikes, so you won't slip. And he's right, because it's hard to jump inside. It really is, but it doesn't matter. Take it inside, he still wins. Fantastic. Then we're moving on to the Route 16, which is the last chance to get into districts and mid-pens. And he took it with a 6'7". So once again, other than that first one he gave his partner, he ain't losing anything. It's crazy. And now we're going to start the leg of the Triple Crown, which is mid-pen championships. And of course, you know, as he didn't win it as a junior, but he made up for it as a senior, taking it with a 6'9" jump, mid-penn championship, taking that first leg of the Triple Crown. So now it's alive. Now we got the mid-penn championship, which he did not have last year. So pumped up about that. Then we're rolling in to districts. Defending champion. Got to defend his championship in districts. And I'm telling you what, the competition was pretty good. There was a lot of good jumpers in districts. But Mr. Two-Time Arana completes the Greyhound triple just by successfully defending his high jump title at 6'6". So, defending champ. Now he's Mr. Two-Time. Mr. Two-Time. District champion. Which not many Greyhounds can say that they've won 2 district championships, becoming the 7th and then the 8th male to win a district championship is fantastic. Like I said, the competition was stiff, but if you look in this picture, like I said, that first thing that he did for his teammate gave him all the confidence. Look where his teammate finished. His teammate finished 5th and qualified for states. So now Dakota and Connor are both going to states. Fantastic. And you know, defending states, the competition only gets tougher because states, some of these kids that we were seeing at states, we had never seen before. We hadn't seen them jump. We didn't know what to expect. And I'm telling you what, it was tough competition. But Dakota was doing backflips over the bar and won back-to-back state championships with the jump of 6'10". And whenever I say he was doing backflips, he was literally doing backflips. So Mr. Two-Time District becomes 2-time state and completes the Triple Crown Championship. But with that, he also qualified for nationals, which we were like, nationals, like, I don't know. we weren't too sure about nationals because no Greyhound has ever won a national. No Greyhound has ever competed in a national. So we got the Triple Crown. We're good, right? No, Coda's not happy. Coda's like, I want to go compete for a national title. He's like, I'm number 1 in Pennsylvania. He's like, I want to go compete against other state championships and see what I got. And before I know it, we're signed up for nationals. And my 2-time state champion is going to nationals. And it's like, okay, nationals. We found the New Balance Nationals in Philadelphia. And wow, the competition that he was up against, the Michigan state champion, the New York state champion, the Ohio state champion, the Iowa state champion, the Oregon state champion. Yeah, the Oregon state champion came out. That's crazy. There was a couple other ones that I can't quite. I think North Carolina. I'm not really sure, but there was a lot of dudes that could jump really, really high, and it was intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. Here, my high school son is on a national stage, jumping for a national championship, and okay. So just we're nervous. He's jumping well, but he you can tell he's got nerves. But then all of the boys do. So they started out with like 26 jumpers, and once they got to the top 11, once they got down to 11, they did a special thing where they announced the boys. And of course, my boy made top 11, and he got called out to the field, and he got his state shown up there, and we're pretty excited. But going in, he's like, Dad, he's like, if I can make top six, he's like, I'll be a national All-American. He's like, that's what I want. He's like, I want to be a national All-American. He's like, top six is where I need to get. And he's like, if I get there, he's like, I'll be satisfied. He's like, I want that championship. He's like, but I at least got to get that All-American. I'm like, hey, I was like, I don't care if you finish 26th place. I don't care if you finish 5th place, 10th place, first. It doesn't matter. I'm at a national track and field championship event, and I got skin in the game. My son's competing. I'm good. I don't care where you finish. You got us here. and and then he made the top 11. Got announced. So they make it to like 6-4, and the boys really start faltering. Even my boy. It was a tough stage, there in Franklin Field, and he said what it was is where the turf turned to track, kind of was throwing the boys off a little bit, and you could see it because a lot of the boys were struggling, and we get down to where there's only three, and my boy is a national All-American in his top three, and we're at I gotta look just to remember. We're at like 6'8", and all three of the boys clear 6'8", and we're like, oh my god. We're like, man, this is on. I mean, these boys are jumping these three boys are jumping fantastic. All three of them clear 6'8". It was like a PR for the kid in Ohio, which the kid in Ohio was fantastic. All the boys were fantastic, but man, he was just jumping really, really good. So we get to 6'9". We get to 6'9". We're like, oh, like, okay. And everybody missed their first two attempts. And we're like, oh boy. We're like, oh boy. We're all getting a little tight. We're all a little shaken, because we're down to everybody's last attempt. So the kid from Ohio, and of course Dakota's going last because, he's the number one seed. He's going last. So though I think it was the second place kid from Ohio missed. And we're like, okay, he did a great job. Everybody applauded him, and then he was up against two kids from Ohio, by the way. The state champ from Ohio and the second place state champ, the runner-up to state champ in Ohio. Those two they're pretty fantastic kids. And so the second kid from Ohio comes up and he misses. And as soon as that second Ohio kid misses, me and my oldest son Dominic stand up. We look at Dakota, and he's looking at us. He's looking at the family because he kind of knows. And me and my oldest son Dominic, we put our one finger up, like one more jump, and everything like that. And Dakota nodded, and as soon as he nodded, I pounded on my chest and was like, "Just give it all you got." And he goes out there, clears 6'9". The only one to do it, becomes a national champion. Got the national champion bag, the All-American patch, the national champion medallion with the crown. Shippensburg, Dakota Arana wins national title in high jump at New Balance Nationals. Out of 26, he walked out the top dog and became a national championship. Has a national championship to his resume. Unbelievable. 2022 New Balance national champion, Dakota Arana. So, his senior year, out of all of the events, he gives up one event, the first one, to his teammate, his partner. And then they go on this amazing, amazing run. National championship. And then my boy gets to graduate one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated athlete to come out of Shippensburg, Greyhound Senior High School. Mid-Penn championship, two-time district championship with a team district title, two-time state champion, and the first ever Shippensburg Greyhound to win a national championship. I mean, wow. And my wife did such a fantastic job capturing it all in these scrapbooks, but I'm telling you, what a ride. I'm so honored to be able to be this kid's dad. It's an honor and a privilege, and now I dropped him off yesterday. Getting a little choked up, but dropped him off at college, yesterday, and now he's off to bigger and better things, and I'm so behind it. Can't wait to see him jump. I mean, from out of nowhere to national champion. I mean, just all you got to do is just encourage your kids. It doesn't matter if it's sports, academics, whatever. Just if they show a passion for it, get behind them. You'd be surprised. Your kids, they're capable of amazing things, especially if you give them what they need. And this kid is the reason why I started my YouTube channel, and he's a big part of it. Started with basketball, and now he's a national champion. And I just want to thank everyone for the support. I know this is a live stream. I haven't acknowledged it. I thank you for showing up. I just wanted to get this story out as a tribute to my son, like the most decorated athlete in Greyhound school history, I believe. If I don't know anybody else who can boast all those titles, and it's crazy. I thank you everybody for your support. Card family, some of my high school friends that have supported us through this journey, everyone. My wife did a fantastic job on these scrapbooks to capture 2 championship years. And I just wanted to do it live so I could have it there, be raw, be in the moment, and all of this. And I miss my son. He's at college. Just hope he's doing well. And we're on to bigger, better things. Hopefully we can turn these championships into a college one. Oh, Tara, there's one of my high school friends that have supported us. Appreciate you dropping in. Appreciate you all. It's just been so fantastic. Like I said, it's been an honor and privilege just to call him my boy. And like I said, now he's at college doing big things. And hopefully we'll see him on a national scale, college scene. It's going to be amazing. Thank you, everyone who stopped in. I wanted to get this out and get this on my YouTube and everything. Like I said, a tribute to him. My national champion. Couldn't be prouder. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Either way, go out there, do something good for someone, and the good will come back to you. Spuddy's out.